Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Okay, hey guys, welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with Patti Palafox. And what we're going to talk about, besides her journey in business and in real estate, we're going to talk about how the wildfires, we all heard about the devastating ones out in California and how they really affected the market. Remember, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business. And we do that by providing tools and resources that help them grow the business they want to have, which helps them in turn live the life that they've dreamed of. So, Patti, welcome to our show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me and giving me the opportunity to let you know what's going on here in Cali.
100%. I was born and raised in Orange County, Southern California. So, I've surfed Malibu. I know the whole place. But before we kind of talk about, how the market and how things were affected by all that happened, tell our audience first a little bit about you, kind of your background, how you got into real estate, and what brought us up to today.
Yeah, thank you for that. So I'm originally from Mexico City. I grew up there, and then I lived for 7 years in London. I went to school there, graduated from university, and then a job opportunity brought me to the States, to United States, California mainly. And I started exploring the real estate market back then, and I was managing portfolios that involve real estate investments, mainly in Malibu. And so I have a very broad expertise from a different perspective, from investor perspective, but also now from a real estate agent. So eventually it just makes sense for me to get my license and start providing the service that now I do, selling, representing transactions here in Malibu mainly, just because I've been living here for almost 2 decades, almost 20 years. And I'm very familiar with the area. I have a family here. My kids go to school here. So I pretty much now live half of my life here.
Very cool. So what decided, or what seed was planted that decided to help you get into real estate? Like, why that of all things?
Because I was managing portfolios, and that involved dealing with real estate transactions. Mm-hmm. So I was fascinated by the prices here. I couldn't believe how properties exchange for, especially the condition of some properties. Mainly we have, properties built in the 60s, 70s, but because they're beachfront properties, some of them, the value of those properties was very intriguing to me. And I just started getting very familiar with what things can be worth in Malibu in particular. I created very good relationships with realtors and investors. So I kind of started from that back end. And it just made sense for me to get my license and start doing full-on service.
Okay, when you say you're managing portfolios, were you a property manager type of thing? What were you doing to manage those portfolios?
I was a business manager.
Okay.
So I work for people that own real estate.
Business manager, okay. Okay, awesome. And what were some of the struggles that you ran into when you got your license and you started trying to go and represent folks for the properties?
Well, mainly was, just to get to
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
to know some clients and build trust, right? So because when you're new in the business, you have to earn their business, and typically people go with whoever has a name in already, in the community. And so that was kind of first a struggle, but little by little, because I was already familiar with, people in the community and they knew what I was doing before. And my knowledge was a little bit broader than a fresh new agent. It showed, and I just started, pretty much building my database. But of course, it took time and effort.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So, as you started to grow, did you build a team? Did you join a team? What did you do?
So I joined a team. First, I was a solo agent. I joined a team who was well established at Compass. And that gave me great resources to have the ability to have people that were on salary that will help with the back end of administration, marketing, and allow me to really just dedicate more time into networking and serving my clients more hands-free without having to take care of everything that it goes, on the transaction. So I did very well with the team. I was, one of the best performing agents besides the funding partners. And eventually I just went solo, and now I'm building my team.
Okay. What do you think was or attributed you to being one of the best on the team, or outside of the founders? Like what kind of things got you there, right?
Well, I think it's performance. I really feel that I am very driven and I'm very dedicated to whatever I set my mind to do. And I love what I do. I love servicing people and all the emotional part of the transaction, also the negotiating aspect. But I think it's very rare to find somebody with great empathy, but at the same time, great negotiating skills. And I think I have a good balance there. So people feel comfortable with me, they feel protected, and that's kind of what has helped me to build trust. And of course, performing well by executing transactions and delivering results.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the number one attribute of a truly and highly successful agent?
Well, I really feel that a lot of us get complacent sometimes, especially when we reach certain point of our business, and pretty much, you just want to get more market share, get more properties. But the reality is you can only give so much attention. And I think that a lot of times it's just important to identify if you are into the higher price level, then maybe just focus there, because you're not going to provide the same level of service to people just because there is too many to serve and it's only one of you. And even if you have a great team, people are hiring you for your name. And I feel you have to be more involved in every transaction, or just show up to sign the listing agreement and then disappear and have people showcase the property and be involved in the transaction. So I think that what it is consistency, and is delivering the amount of service and really attention to detail the clients need. This is a very sophisticated market. It requires a lot of finesse. And yes, indeed, some markets sell by themselves, based on so many factors. But here we're serving the 1% pretty much, and you need to deliver a very high standard of service. And I don't think you can do it all.
What mistakes are you seeing newer agents are doing or continually making, or things maybe they're struggling with in the beginning?
Well, I think in particular, the changes that we have constantly within, the National Association of Realtors, the commissions, and not being able to adapt to whatever is thrown at you with the market, a lot of things that we can't control, right?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I can't even begin to list all of the things that are out of our control. So I think it's just sometimes the inability to really manage the things that are out of our control and just stay focused and try to deliver the same results.
Right. We know we had the whole NAR ruling and then that more recent thing. Do you see any other trends, or do you see any other rules, regulations, anything coming down the pipe that you're kind of keeping an eye on?
Not really from that perspective. I mean, we have so many changes now with Zillow as well, right? And even Compass itself, we're trying to give the sellers the freedom to showcase their property and market the property before even having to put it to the MLS. And now Zillow is just showcasing whatever they want to showcase. I even noticed that a lot of times you don't have access to all of the properties. And I think it just should be just a better way for the consumer to check to what's available there and not just being part of one particular brokerage, but at the same time, not one particular site like Zillow has been dominating for so many years.
Right. Okay. Now let's kind of transition a little bit, and let's talk about the how the market's been affected. We all saw the news. We all saw how with the whole thing with insurance and people not getting that pulled out from them, and all the just the whole fiasco, I guess you could probably say. So talk to me about that. How was the market affected?
Well, it was devastating. I think it's the worst fire we have seen, and not just because the amount of houses that were lost within Malibu, Palisades, Altadena, and all the recent fires. But I think this, particularly, I'm going to speak from the Malibu perspective, is the first time a fire had affected the whole community. Of course, we have been affected by different fires. The Woolsey fire was extremely devastating too, the La Costa fire as well. But I feel there were parts of Malibu that were severely affected. And of course, as a community, you suffer with, the people you care and the city that you love. But at the same time, if you don't get to see what's going on every day, you tend to forget, right? Human beings, we recoup very quickly and we forget and we go back to normality very quickly. This particular fire affected our one main access road, which is
PCH. Yeah.
And that, is inevitable to get affected by the whole community was affected. The schools were affected, the accessibility to Malibu. We only have other ways of access, which aren't easy, which is through the canyons. And that completely affected all of us. It eliminated a lot of people that had to commute. They had to move out of Malibu, even though their homes weren't affected, just because the accessibility wasn't there. And traveling out of Malibu was a nightmare, 2 hours and a half to go to a doctor's appointment sometimes, in the west side. So a lot of people start getting very antsy about the inability to commute. And that was affecting, of course, the whole community. With that along is driving through the devastation every day too, once the access became open, and just a constant reminder. And that's going to last a long time too, because obviously there is one road that they have made a great effort to clear, but every day that you drive it is a reminder of all of the houses that were there and what's going to happen with the rebuilding process, and those people that are underinsured and are not going to be able to pay whatever their premium is today to rebuild a home. So it has affected the community very, very severely emotionally. And of course, the market gets affected because whatever is available on the market is also not accessible with open houses, showings. We couldn't even show houses that were still on that fire zone, because how do you get people in and out? And overall, I'm sure we're going to recover. I don't want to paint this as a very negative, because Malibu is still a very special place to live. I think there is so much uniqueness into the town and so much grayness as far as the nature aspect of it and the great homes that we have here and the very close community. So I'm sure we're going to heal and rebuild. But of course, we all having a difficult time, even working and operating our normal business. Other thing, restaurants have suffered significantly, shops, because you didn't have the access of tourists coming in or people from other parts. So
Yeah.
it's been a rough time.
But do you think we learned anything?
It's sad that, we didn't learn anything from 2018. A lot of people were hoping that the city.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
The county, the state in general would have more the back of the people that are very high taxpayers. And to see what happened in January is devastating. To see no action of firemen trying to rescue homes. I feel we didn't learn anything from 2018, and a lot of people were in the hopes that we had a much better system. And it's very scary to know that what's going to happen when something outside our control, which is, natural disasters, against knock on our door. And for people, their main assets are tied to their homes.
Yeah, no, that's difficult. So, where do you see the market going? I mean, you see it bouncing back soon, later? I mean, what does your outlook look like?
Well, PCH is now open, and that has created some new activity. We're having calls from the west side from people inquiring about summer leases, which has always been a great market. I think, obviously, overall, the market has suffered with the higher interest rates and the economy and the politics and everything that's happening. And that's not just to California, it's everywhere. But I'm really hopeful that things should normalize and people will continue to look Malibu as a very unique and very great lifestyle and way of living. So I see the market actually recuperating just because we have lost so many houses. Just to tell you, the beachfront properties were, astronomical, the amount of those, beach homes that were lost. So if you ask me, if now you have X amount of number of beachfront properties, at some point those should be more valuable, right? Just because the inventory is going to be less.
Yeah.
Overall, we're going to have less inventory for all the houses that have been lost. So you'll think that should be in consideration of bringing up or at least maintaining the prices where they are.
Have you had a lot of investors inquire with you about properties?
We are. Yeah, we do. From the very beginning, a lot of people from the east side contacted us about land, raw land, and future development, particularly in the Palisades. We had a few beachfront investors inquiring, to develop, obviously, homes on the coast, which is on the beachfront properties, which are always very desirable, and especially because that was affected greatly. So, there is always people looking for great opportunities. So I would say this is the time. Once things recover, you again not gonna be able to find that, or find that great deal. Now is the time to really find a good deal.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. Are you ever buying any of these things? Do you invest at all? Or do you buy properties? Do you have rentals?
I had in the past, not recently, to be honest. The prices point right now is not so great for flipping, just because unless you have the interest rates that they were, during COVID, that's a really good way to go. But then again, the cost of insurance and the cost of things are great. So unless there is an unforgettable, opportunity, at least for me, is it's better to wait a little bit until the prices adjust more.
Yeah, no, I get that. Well, I mean, I appreciate you coming on here and sharing all this. If there's folks that are listening that are in and around your area, maybe they want to talk to you about buying something there. I don't know. How do they get in touch with you? Like, what's the best way for them to reach out and connect?
Well, I'm always available on my phone. I always typically try to answer it, but of course, email or my Instagram at Patti Palafox. I'll, send you my info as well. If you Google my name, I'm sure all my number and everything will pop. But I'm always available to serve clients and also just educate them a little bit about the real estate market. There is great investment opportunities, and we have historically shown that this is a very good and safe place despite everything. Very,
Awesome.
very safe place to invest your money.
Cool. Yeah, I love Malibu. It was heartbreaking to see that, especially, growing up in Southern California, but seeing all that happen in the places I've been and I've been through. But I once again appreciate you for coming on here, sharing all this information. I hope everybody out there listening got a good show, took some good notes, or just enjoyed the time. Patti, thank you again, and everybody, we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you
Cheers.
so much for your time. I appreciate you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.